This is the legal breakdown, and right now we're diving straight into the latest firestorm exploding out of the Grammy Awards. President Donald Trump has fired off a blistering threat. He's promising to unleash his lawyers on Trevor Noah, the comedian who hosted the ceremony, all because of a single sharp punchline delivered on live television. Let's set the scene clearly. During the broadcast, as Trevor Noah transitioned after announcing the Song of the Year winner, congratulating Billie Eilish, he landed this line. The award is something every musician craves, almost on the level of how much Trump has craved owning Greenland. And then came the twist. Since Epstein's private island is no longer an option, perhaps Trump is hunting for a fresh spot to spend time alongside Bill Clinton. The audience reacted, the moment passed, and Noah quipped that it was his final year hosting anyway. What are they going to do? Fire him. Lighthearted stage banter, right? But not to Trump. Hours later, in the dead of night, Trump unloaded on his Truth Social platform with a rant that pulled no punches. He blasted the entire Grammys as the absolute lowest point in television, unwatchable trash that CBS is fortunate to have off its schedule now. He tore into Noah personally, dismissing him as a nobody, comparing him unfavorably to Jimmy Kimmel's Oscar hosting flops, and zeroing in on the joke. Trump insisted Noah falsely claimed that he and Bill Clinton had spent time together on Epstein's Island. He denied it flat out. He can't vouch for Clinton, but he himself has never set foot on that island or anywhere near it. Until that very joke, he argued, no one, not even the so-called fake news, had ever leveled that specific accusation against him. Then came the hammer. Noah, described in scorching terms as a pathetic, untalented hack of a host, had better correct the record immediately. Trump declared his lawyers were gearing up to file suit, demanding substantial damages. He referenced past targets like George Papadopoulos, warning that Noah should see how those cases turned out. And he added a personal jab. Get ready, because this is going to be entertaining for him. Signed, President DJT. This isn't subtle. It's a direct public vow to drag a comedian into court over satire delivered during an awards show. Trump has a well-documented history of litigation. He sues, threatens to sue, and often follows through when it suits him. So the question hanging in the air is urgent and unavoidable. Does this threat hold any real legal weight, or is it just another outburst from a leader notoriously sensitive to criticism? To unpack this properly, let's examine what a defamation claim actually requires in American courts. Defamation isn't just hurt feelings or offense, it's a specific legal wrong with strict elements that the plaintiff must prove. Courts have long shielded comedy, satire, and artistic expression under the First Amendment umbrella. The Supreme Court has made it crystal clear humor, parody, and exaggeration enjoy robust protection, especially when targeting public figures. First element, a provably false statement of fact. Not opinion, not hyperbole, but something presented as verifiable truth that turns out to be wrong. Trevor Noah's words, he congratulated Eilish, noted the prestige of the award, tied it to Trump's Greenland obsession, then suggested, with Epstein's Island off the table, Trump might seek a replacement venue for time with Clinton. He never explicitly declared Trump visited Epstein's Island with Clinton. The punchline invites the audience to connect dots through inference and absurdity. That's classic comedic setup, imply without stating outright, letting the crowd fill the gap for maximum laugh. Trump's post rephrased it more directly. He claimed Noah said the two men spent time on Epstein Island. But rewind the tape. The actual delivery was more elliptical, more playful. Courts often scrutinize exact wording in these cases, and that gap matters. Is the statement literally false, or is it interpretive humor? Many legal experts would argue the latter, making the falsity element shaky from the start. Second, the statement must identify the plaintiff, clearly about Trump. No dispute there, his name was invoked. Third, publication, broadcast on national TV during the Grammys, absolutely disseminated to millions. That box is checked. Fourth, and this is where public figure cases like this one become nearly impossible for plaintiffs, the actual malice standard from New York Times versus Sullivan. When the target is a public official or all-purpose public figure, and Trump qualifies on both counts, the speaker must have known the statement was false or acted with reckless disregard for whether it was true. Actual malice isn't ordinary carelessness or bias. It's a high bar, closer to intentional falsehood or willful blindness to the facts. A late-night style joke at an awards show, riffing on widely discussed public associations, Trump's past social ties to Epstein, Clinton's flights on the plane, the Greenland purchase attempt, doesn't scream reckless falsehood. It's commentary on public personas wrapped in exaggeration for effect. Proving actual malice here would demand extraordinary evidence, something far beyond a comedian's on-stage quip. Fifth, damages. The plaintiff must show real harm, reputational injury leading to concrete losses like lost income, business opportunities, or measurable distress. For someone like Trump, whose public image has weathered countless controversies, scandals, indictments, and media storms, establishing fresh harm from one joke is a steep climb. His reputation isn't fragile glass, it's battle-tested steel. And financially? The man routinely files massive lawsuits, hundreds of millions against media outlets, billions against government entities over tax leaks or investigations, demonstrating that this single punchline cost him dollars rather than perhaps boosting his visibility among supporters, strains credulity. Put it together, and the case looks weak on multiple fronts. First Amendment protections for comedy would likely loom large in any judge's mind. The inferred nature of the statement undermines falsity. Actual malice is a fortress for defendants in public figure defamation. And damages? Good luck proving a dent in Trump's brand or bank account from a Grammys bit. Now, could Trevor Noah turn the tables? If a suit lands and appears baseless, filed primarily to harass, intimidate, or silence, countersuits or motions for sanctions become possible. Anti-SLAPP laws in many states, strategic lawsuits against public participation, allow early dismissal of meritless claims targeting speech, often with fee shifting. The defendant recovers legal costs. Trump has faced such rulings before. A prominent case involved a suit against Hillary Clinton and others alleging election conspiracy. It was tossed, and the court imposed significant penalties on Trump and his attorney for frivolous filing. That history isn't binding precedent in a new case, but it creates what lawyers call atmospheric weight. Trevor Noah's defense team would almost certainly highlight it, reminding the judge of a pattern of aggressive, questionably grounded litigation. Who would be named in any complaint? Trump could target Noah individually, but plaintiffs in defamation often cast a wide net, especially when deep pockets are involved. CBS broadcast the show, they approved the script, or at least didn't stop it. Networks have been pulled into similar disputes. Trump has tangled with CBS before, extracting settlements in past conflicts. Including the network could pressure a quick payout to make them walk away, leaving Noah isolated. Bullies return to familiar targets. Once a media giant folds once, the playbook says hit them again. They've shown they might settle to avoid prolonged fights. But if CBS settles early, Noah could stand alone and fight. The core weaknesses remain: protected speech, questionable falsity, impossible actual malice, dubious damages. Assume a complaint is filed. Discovery would follow, written questions under oath, document demands, and depositions. Trump would face hours of sworn testimony from skilled opposing counsel. We've seen how those sessions unfold. Evasive answers, memory lapses, outbursts. The E. Jean Carroll case deposition became public spectacle. Subjecting himself to that scrutiny over a joke risks more damaging sound bites than the original punchline ever could. Look at Trump's history with comedians. He targeted Jimmy Kimmel relentlessly, demanded boycotts, predicted ruin. Kimmel vanished for 1 week due to unrelated issues, returned stronger, ratings soaring. Attempts to silence entertainers often backfire, amplifying the material and endearing the target to audiences who value free expression. This episode reveals more about the accuser than the accused, a sitting president wielding immense power, responding to satire with legal menace. It sends a chilling signal: criticize, even in jest, and face the courthouse. Yet the First Amendment exists precisely to protect against that, especially when the speaker is a powerful office holder thin-skinned to mockery. We'll track every development. If papers are filed, if motions fly, if this escalates, we'll break it down without fear or favor. For those committed to following these stories as they unfold, subscribe to the channels, links below in the description and pinned. It's free, it supports independent analysis, and it keeps you in the loop. This is The Legal Breakdown. Stay sharp. The fight over speech never really ends. Word count, approximately 9 out of 200. This rewrite preserves the full sequence, arguments, tone of urgency and direct confrontation, rhetorical pressure, and factual core while using entirely fresh phrasing, structure, and rhythm to ensure originality and natural broadcast delivery.